Well, I hope that you have had a blessed St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to shift back to the overrun discussion of American politics, but this is important. There are discussions right now, public discussions, about the Republican National Committee Rules Committee, the RNC's Rules Committee, changing the rules for the nomination process. Now, this happened before. Did you know that? Did you know that this happened when Teddy Roosevelt ran against Howard Taft? So Teddy Roosevelt was president until 1908, and then to honor George Washington, he didn't run again. He could have, he didn't. Taft ran, became the president, and then Teddy Roosevelt was so disgusted by what Taft was doing, he ran and beat Taft in the Republican primary. And then they changed the rules at the Republican convention and stole the nomination from Teddy Roosevelt and gave it to Taft. Teddy Roosevelt basically said, fine, went across the street and started the Progressive Party. It was a three-party race. Roosevelt would have won, but someone tried to assassinate him and shot him in the chest. His speech was hit, saved his life, but Teddy Roosevelt was in and out of consciousness for a few days prior to the election, and the American public got scared and voted for who? Woodrow Wilson. All right. Listen to me. You know why we have elections, right? You do know why. It's so we don't have to kill people. It's so we don't have to imprison people. It's so that we don't have to exile people. That's why. I mean, that's the alternative, right? We have elections so we can have the peaceful transition of power versus living under a tyrannical dictatorship that never changes, or overthrowing the aforesaid tyrannical dictatorship. Killing him, exiling him, whatever, okay? So if the RNC wants to follow the example set over 100 years ago, that would be a disaster for the Republican Party. And it's what ended up getting Woodrow Wilson elected. It will elect Hillary Clinton, and they know it. They know it. But I want to just go a step farther and some of them would rather have Hillary as president than Donald Trump because they can't control Trump. And at least with Hillary in power, they can be still in their own power grid against her. I'm almost out of time, but to the activists out there, here's what you need to do. Find out the name and a photograph, maybe the home address or a business address, right, of every single member of the Rules Committee. Just post it online. We're praying for you to do the right thing. All right, I'm being a smart aleck now. But let them feel the pressure. We know who you are, and we are not going to let you change the rules. Listen, they'll do it to Ted Cruz if they'll do it to Trump. These are people who hate Ted Cruz and who hate Donald Trump, and they want a Jeb Bush or a Kasich or a Romney to be the nominee. And they're willing to say to hell with all of the Republican voters who participated thus far so that they can have their way. Find out their names, put up their pictures, and let them know that we're watching them. That's the way to help keep them on the straight and narrow.